Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're really going to get into this book, Bacteria's Gift.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the book, of course, and all this stuff. All my notes.
Yes.
Even some early buzz about the sequel, Micro World.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're not just reviewing the book, though.
Right.
This is a deep dive into, how this story works, how these characters evolve.
Yeah.
Honestly, why this thing has got everybody so hooked.
I think one of the things that is just so fascinating about it is how Mustafa takes this scientific concept of manipulating bacteria and then turns it into this story about human transformation, about ethics, about what it truly means to be a hero, all against this backdrop of modern Nigeria, which is,
Yeah, and that character, Dr. Mercy James, is where it all starts.
Right.
She's this brilliant microbiologist butting heads with societal norms trying to find a cancer cure.
Absolutely.
It's like, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
The book opens with this line, did you know human beings are almost 50% microbial?
It's like, boom, we're in the world of microbes.
Right away, right now.
That opening line does so much.
Yeah.
Not just setting the stage for the science,
Right.
but for the idea that there are unseen forces that are shaping our lives, just like microbes are shaping our bodies.
Yeah.
And Mercy's journey kind of mirrors this, right? She's so logical, so driven by this promise to her late father,
Right.
but also struggling against the expectations of her, role in society.
Well, yeah, especially in a male-dominated field.
Right, exactly.
There's this scene where she's getting ready for a date with Thomas,
Yes.
her husband, who's a detective.
Uh-huh.
And she's not all glammed up, what her female colleagues would supposedly be.
Yes.
It's almost like her dedication to science is a rebellion in itself.
It's a very subtle but powerful way of showing the cultural context. I mean, here is this brilliant woman, but she's constantly battling these unspoken expectations. And you add another layer to that with her mother's disapproval of her career.
Right.
So it's not just about the science, it's really about her place in society.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then there's the science itself.
Yes.
Her research on Staphylococcus aureus is hitting a wall.
Yeah.
Animal trials keep failing. She's desperate for a breakthrough.
Of course.
And then she makes this crazy decision
Oh.
to inject herself with the modified bacteria.
This is a huge turning point,
Uh-huh.
not just for the plot,
Right.
but for Mercy's character. I mean, it shows just how dedicated she is, but also maybe a little bit of recklessness.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about the ethical implications of self-experimentation, especially when you're dealing with something potentially dangerous,
Right.
like modified bacteria.
And that's where Microlabs comes in.
Yes.
This high-tech facility that almost feels like a character in itself.
It does.
It's modern, it's cutting edge, but there's this undercurrent of ethical questions lurking beneath the surface.
Kind of like the bacteria itself.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what makes the setting so effective.
Absolutely.
Mirroring the duality of Mercy's work.
Yes.
On one hand, she's pushing the boundaries of science, potentially saving lives.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's this risk, this unknown element that could have devastating consequences.
It's a great point.
And the transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy goes through some serious changes, both physically and emotionally.
Right.
The lab accident, the moment her powers are unleashed.
Right.
It's like we're watching a superhero origin story,
It is.
but with microbes instead of gamma rays.
I love that it's a classic setup.
Yeah.
But Mustafa adds this layer of scientific realism to it that makes it even more compelling.
Yeah.
She doesn't just wake up with superpowers.
Right.
She has to go through this agonizing process, this struggle to understand and control what's happening to her.
Yeah, and it's not just physical. It's her relationships, it's, all these things.
It affects her whole life.
Totally. Remember that scene in the alley
Oh, yes.
where she stops those armed robbers?
Yes.
We see her strength and her speed,
Uh-huh.
but also this fear, this uncertainty in her eyes.
Right.
It's like she's just as surprised by her abilities as the robbers are.
That scene is so important because it really shows us the evolution of her character.
Yeah.
She's not this confident, all-powerful hero yet.
Right.
She's learning, she's adapting, and there's a real sense of danger because we don't know if she's going to be able to control these new powers.
And then there's the burning building.
Ooh.
She tries to save this man trapped inside,
Right.
but her powers are limited by intense heat. She fails, and it hits her hard.
Yeah.
We see this guilt, this self-doubt creeping in, which I thought was just such a humanizing element.
It's a crucial turning point.
Yeah.
The failure, the loss of life, it weighs on her.
Right.
It raises the question, what are the limits of her power?
Yeah.
And more importantly, what are the ethical implications of using it?
Right.
Can she really play God?
Yeah.
You know, deciding who lives and who dies makes you think about the burden of responsibility.
Right.
You know, she's dealing with these incredible abilities.
Yeah.
But also the very real consequences of what happens when she can't save everyone.
And it affects her on a personal level, too.
Of course.
I mean, her husband, Thomas,
Yeah.
he starts to sense something's up.
Right.
She's withdrawn.
Yeah.
She's secretive.
Right.
Their relationship starts to suffer.
Yeah.
It's almost like her powers are creating this distance between them.
That is one of the things that I find so interesting about this book.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about the big action-packed moments.
Right.
It's about how these extraordinary circumstances impact ordinary relationships.
Yeah.
Mercy's struggle to balance her superhero life with her personal life.
Right.
It's something we can all relate to,
Right.
even if we don't have superpowers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's John Monday,
Yeah.
her colleague and friend.
Right.
He's a microbiologist himself.
Yeah,
He becomes this crucial support system for her.
absolutely.
He helps her understand her powers from a scientific perspective,
Uh-huh.
but he's also there for her emotionally.
Right.
He's like the rock she can lean on when things get tough.
I think John's character is really fascinating
Yeah.
because he has his own struggles too.
Right.
His breakup with Zainab
Ah.
adds another layer to his story, showing that, you know, even the people closest to Mercy
Yeah.
are dealing with their own personal challenges.
Yeah.
But despite that, he's always there for her,
Right.
which I think speaks volumes about their friendship.
Okay, let's talk about the symbolism in the book.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
It is.
We've already talked about fire a bit,
Right.
how it represents Mercy's passion,
Yes.
but then also this potential for destruction.
Uh-huh.
It's like this double-edged sword
Right.
mirroring her own journey.
That's a great observation. I think the fire motif really evolves throughout the story. At first, it's about purification, this drive to find a cure,
Yeah.
to make the world a better place.
Right.
But as Mercy's powers grow, so does the potential for things to burn out of control.
Right.
And it's this constant reminder that even with good intentions,
Right.
things can have unintended consequences.
And then there's the microbial world itself.
Oh, yes.
It's not just a scientific backdrop.
Right.
It becomes this symbol of both creation and destruction.
Absolutely.
You know, Mercy can manipulate bacteria to heal,
Right.
but she also sees firsthand how easily they could be used to harm.
Yes.
It's like this whole other layer to her story.
It is.
This constant tension between good and evil.
That duality is so central to the themes of the book. I mean,
Right.
Mercy's journey mirrors the microbial world.
Yeah.
Both have the potential for incredible good,
Yeah.
but also for immense destruction.
Yeah.
It's this powerful metaphor for the choices we make,
Yeah.
the power we hold,
Right.
and the responsibility that comes with it.
Speaking of choices, let's talk about Femi Marcus.
Ew. Yes.
He's Mercy's former assistant,
right.
but he goes down this dark path, right?
Yeah. So,
Unleashing this deadly strain of Burkholderia cepacia on the city.
I know. Talk about an antagonist.
What do you think drives him to do something so terrible?
I think Femi is such a compelling villain because he's not just some evil mastermind.
Right.
He's brilliant.
Right.
He's ambitious,
Mm.
but also deeply flawed,
Right.
you know? And it's like he's this cautionary tale,
Yeah.
a reminder that unchecked ambition and a disregard for ethical boundaries can lead to devastating consequences.
He creates this contrast with Mercy.
Yes, he does.
You know, she's using her powers to help, to heal.
Right.
He's all about control and destruction.
Absolutely.
Their final confrontation is epic.
Oh, yeah.
It's this battle of ideologies
Oh.
as much as it is a physical fight.
That final battle is so visually stunning.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, the crumbling factory setting,
Yeah.
the desperation in Mercy's eyes as she pushes her powers to the limit.
Yeah.
It's like you can see the weight of the city on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment,
Yeah.
this choice that she makes
Yeah.
that really defines her character.
You're talking about when she cures Femi?
Yes.
Right.
After everything he's done,
I know.
she still chooses to use her powers to heal him,
It's incredible.
to save him from the bacteria that's consuming him.
It's such a powerful act of forgiveness and compassion.
I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
It shows that even in the face of pure evil,
Right.
she still holds on to her humanity, her
Yeah.
belief in redemption.
Yeah.
It's this reminder that there's always hope, even in the darkest of moments.
But then just when you think it's over,
Right.
that ending hits us.
I know.
this alien ship appears, hovering over the city.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
I know. What do you think it means?
Right.
Is it a threat?
Yeah.
A sign of things to come?
I have so many questions.
I know.
That final scene is brilliant because it opens up this whole new world of possibilities.
It does.
It takes the scope of the story beyond this immediate threat of the outbreak.
Yeah.
And hints at this much larger cosmic conflict.
It really does.
And it makes you realize that even when you defeat one enemy,
right,
there are always more challenges on the horizon.
It's like Mustafa is saying, hey, this is just the beginning, buckle up, because things are about to get even crazier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it perfectly sets the stage for the sequel, Microworld.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see what new challenges Mercy faces,
Yeah.
how her powers evolve,
Uh-huh.
and how this alien arrival will change everything.
Okay, so we've talked about the characters, their growth, the plot twists,
Yes.
the action,
Right.
the symbolism, that crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway from Bacteria's Gift? What does Mustafa want us to leave with?
For me, it's about the interconnectedness of everything.
Right.
Mercy's journey, the science, the societal pressures,
Yeah.
even this alien arrival, it all ties together. It's like Mustafa is showing us that we can't separate ourselves from the world around us, from the consequences of our actions, both good and bad.
I love that. And it makes me think about the title,
Right.
Bacteria's Gift.
Yeah.
What is the gift exactly?
Yeah.
Is it Mercy's powers?
Right.
Is it the potential of scientific advancement?
Uh-huh.
Or is it something even deeper than that?
I think it's open to interpretation,
Yeah.
which is, I think, part of what makes it so thought-provoking.
Right.
On the surface, you could say the gift is Mercy's ability to heal, to protect.
Yeah.
But maybe it's more about understanding our place in the world.
Right.
This delicate balance between humanity and the microbial world.
And realizing that even the smallest things, these microscopic organisms,
Right.
had a huge impact.
Exactly.
It's like a reminder
Yeah.
that we need to be aware to make responsible choices, especially when it comes to science and technology.
Absolutely. The book doesn't shy away from the ethical dilemmas at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Mercy's struggles, Femi's downfall.
Yeah.
It all points to the fact that knowledge without responsibility
Right.
can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And it makes you question what limits we should place on ourselves,
Yeah.
even when we have the best intentions.
Which brings us back to that alien ship.
Right.
It's like a giant question mark hanging over everything.
It is.
Is it a threat?
Right.
A sign of hope?
Yeah.
It completely changes the game, doesn't it?
It's the ultimate cliffhanger.
Yeah.
We go from this very grounded story about one woman's struggle,
Right.
and suddenly we're facing something potentially world-altering.
Right.
You know, and it makes you realize that even when we solve our own problems,
Yeah.
there might be even bigger challenges out there beyond our understanding.
So what are you hoping to see in Microworld?
Oh, gosh.
What questions are burning in your mind right now?
Well, I'm dying to know how Mercy handles this new threat.
Right.
Will her powers be enough?
Yeah.
And what about her relationships, her personal life?
Uh-huh.
Will she be able to find balance in the face of a cosmic crisis?
And what about the science?
Oh, right.
Will bacteria play a role in this alien encounter?
Yeah.
I mean, could Mercy's understanding of the microbial world be the key to saving humanity?
I can't wait to find out.
I know, me neither.
Mustafa has created this incredibly rich world,
He has.
filled with these complex characters, this thrilling action, and these thought-provoking themes.
Right.
And he leaves us with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Totally. Bacteria's Gift is a wild ride, and it leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
It's a story that stays with you, makes you think, and leaves you eager to see what happens next.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for a book that blends science fiction, superhero action, and social commentary, this is it.
And if you're ready to dive even deeper,
Oh, yeah.
grab a copy of Microworld when it comes out.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to be epic.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been a fun one.
Yes, it has.
Make sure you check out next week's episode, where we'll be diving deep into, we'll tell you next week.
It's going to be good.
All right. See you then.